All right. I'm liking the e4. Sicilian, you guys know we like to hit the c3 button. Easy rule. Just d5. Just d5. You don't have to know why. You can just do it. Castle, h3. Kind of a peculiar move there. Queen b6. I'm wondering what that one's all about. Like, normally, I would say it's an achievement if you can ever check the king, right? Bishop b5, and then the king has to move. So immediately I'm like, why did he just offer us that? But maybe he wants to go here anyway? I'm not really sure, but maybe we can do it next move as well. This guy's moves are confusing me. Okay, brings the knight out. Overanalyzing. I agree. I agree. Castles. Rook to the middle. Okay, well, he's attacking something. We can develop and defend it. We can also play like bishop, maybe to e3 next. Can we make a whole bunch of trades? I'm all for it. Definitely going to take that pawn. Can't sneak by me. And this is not that difficult. At least we can all end up here pretty comfortably. Okay. RPM in the middle. Ooh, it looks like there's definitely going to be some trades to be had here. There's one of them. Opponent is going to offer us 2 rooks for the queen. And we have a pass pawn that's about to become a queen. Surely he's too kind. What the hell? Queen here. I see the vision. Look, buddy's hitting my rook, but I mean, is anything really more important than getting a queen on the board? I don't know. Anyone? Bishop f1, right? We could even go here and we're still ahead at the end. Obviously, we don't mind losing a rook because we're getting a whole queen. But in this case, we have the queen pinned as well. That hurts just even more. Okay. And our king is pretty safe here, right? I don't know what's going to happen to it. Nothing bad, I think. Check. 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 Okay. Well, was good while it lasted there. What can we do? I trust all of you upper rook here. I trust all of you. You have the habits to guide you. Yep, I would bet the house on everyone here to win with white. And look at how safe this is. Oh my goodness. Queen needs to move again. So we have the same position, but there's no pawn now. Is this really what we did? We did all of this just to have the same position with no pawn? Jeez Louise, man. Got a pin. Let's attack the pinned piece. And he saw enough. I don't blame him. But this can't, I mean, we just traded pieces in the middle. Traded. The guy offered us 2 rooks for the queen. And then we pushed a pawn and we knew we were going to make another queen. I mean, this game was not too difficult because it wasn't just about finding the moves. It was that the moves we needed to find were almost forced. The trades in the middle, easiest moves to make. He just didn't take our pawn back, so we played here. And we know about 2 rooks for the queen. Not bad. Pawn in the middle. We know we need knight f3. We also know that if our opponent plays d5, we'll play knight there. Okay. Take the center. It's an interesting position because is it a Caro-Kann? Is it not? I think I would probably treat this somewhere in the middle of Caro-Kann and French. So definitely a unique move order, but I'll keep it simple because I'm not familiar with the move order and just take and pull all of our pieces out on those squares we like. Remember, we're over this knight on c3 thing. We don't like it. It's the pawns we want like this so that the knight can go here. This is what we've realized. The knight on c3 is no good. Like, everything else remains the same. Rook in the middle, snorkel. Everything's good, but we really don't like that knight there. Knight c4. Well, he would definitely love a capture there. For the moment, we'll humor him. If we take like this, he could take either way, but I feel like he would take in the way that opens up all three of his pieces. So for that reason, I'm like, well, hang on a sec. Let me bring more pieces into the middle. This is a good one. Thumbs up to my opponent. How can we deal with all these pieces? Well, if I take now, we make way for our other knight to join. And there's a possibility. If we take, we could get the knight against the bishop. Let's see. Knight d2 hits two pawns. Knight e5, the more natural move, but I mean, this is like kind of a fork. Not a fork that I would write home about, but a fork. Thank you very much. Okay, and now I think it's time to put that knight in the middle. It's been too long. Oh. Okay, I didn't realize we were doing moves like that. Bishop takes a2. Really? Really, bro? All right, you inspired me. I'm doing the same thing. Okay, rook's hit. I guess keep it central here. First thing I'm going to do is bring my queen right back into the action. Anytime I go kind of like hunting something on the side of the board, it's like, you know, you did it, you got it, get back. Let's not forget about where all the good moves happen, right in the center. Okay, we have opposite bishops. So if I'm thinking a bit more about what we know of opposite bishops, what should I be trying to do here? Everyone is completely wrong. This is not a good sign. So I told you guys multiple times, when you have opposite bishops, if you are behind, and I'm not saying this move is a good move, but I'm saying if you're behind, yeah, you might want pawns opposite color, right? But if you're ahead, you want them on the same color as your opponent's bishop. Now, in this case, damn, all right. Good move from the guy. Couldn't do much about it. But why am I going here? Because I want to put the pawns on the same color. That's different. F3, pawns on the same color. I'm not interested at all in having pawns on the opposite color of the bishop. Some of you guys weren't listening. if you're behind, if you're worse in the position, I get it. But if you're ahead, which we are, you want them on the same color. So I'd be trying to play these 3 moves. Not easy to do, right? Look how he's preventing it. In this case, I'm going to end up going here. It doesn't feel good. It's not what I want to do, but at least I want to be aware that, like, look, that's the dream. These pawns like this, I'm not happy with. You see how he's able to blockade them really nicely? He's not letting me get what I'd like. See how easy it is for him to blockade? Not a good feeling. It would be terrible if I played h4, g3 here. Terrible. And the queens are also on the board, so there's a lot to be concerned about here. There's no way you could possibly defend all of these things at once. May as well just resign. Okay. He did defend it. Let's try this. Offer a queen trade. But pay attention not just to me, to my opponent. He's sinking the pieces into light squares. My pawns are all stuck on the same color as my bishop. So even though I'm ahead a pawn, I don't have the same winning chances that I want. Right? I need the pawn on a light square. It's not easy to accomplish. Very risky move by the opponent here, no doubt about it. At this point, might need to start taking some risks, you know. Just send, but he's done a really good job just not letting me make those moves happen. Okay, we actually have this one hanging. Oh my, you could just see. You see what I mean? We didn't get any of the pawns where they needed to be. This was like black understanding exactly what so you guys are saying get the pawns on dark squares. Well, look what happened. We get them there and nothing can happen. Nothing moves. Okay, now let's imagine our opponent's a slightly worse player, or perhaps a more cooperative player is a better way to say. We play b3, c4, maybe d5. All of a sudden, it's much different. Much better control, much more space, diagonal open, file open. And what happened in the game? Nothing open. Nowhere for the pieces. If the queens are on the board, in general, you definitely do not want, especially not in front of your king. Some people are completely forgetting habits. Like, we got guys talking about g3, h4. It's like, I don't even know what to say to you. I said, where are we supposed to put our pawns now that we have opposite bishops? g3, h4 has nothing to do with anything. These are just moving pawns in front of your king for no reason. So I don't know where these moves are coming from. This is the habit series. Right? So you can't just be like, oh, opposite bishops. We want to put the pawns on opposite color and then just like do it in front of your king. You're losing your mind. You're not remembering that in habits, in general, you want to keep some shelter in front of your king. So these moves are crazy. We've never really considered this, except maybe later on in an endgame when our king is like in the center. So don't lose your mind trying to accomplish some plan and forget that there are still habits to follow. I'm talking about these pawns. And yes, if there's queens on the board, it makes it even worse to play stuff like that because the king's not in the middle. But most importantly, if I'm behind, in an opposite bishop position. We had that game. Do you guys remember? I was shuffling my bishop nonstop, putting my pawns all on the same color as my bishop, because my opponent couldn't touch them. I was worse. So if he can't attack any of my stuff, I can maybe make a draw. So that's what black's doing. It's like, if I can't touch anything, maybe you can just make a draw. But if I'm trying to win, I want them on the opposite color of my bishop. I'm going to have better winning chances that way. So you don't just see opposite bishops and just shut your brain off, put your pawns on the same color as your bishop. This is the worst possible thing you can do. Demonstrating no understanding. Well, not even no understanding. No comprehension. No listening skills. It was a very, very clear reminder. Opposite your bishop if you're ahead in a good position. Same color as your bishop if you're in a bad position. And especially if the queens are on the board, especially, never in front. I mean, moving pawns in front of your king doesn't supersede. You would never do this. Right? It's not like this plan of putting the pawns there is suddenly more important than a habit you learned the entire way. That's been true since level 1. Don't forget where you came from here. Thank you, AdPawn8, for the new Prime sub. Ministry Repair 38 months. Thank you. And Jesse James 13. Welcome back in. Don't forget who you are. Precisely so. All right. E4, E5. We definitely want to take this. Bring the knight out. We've actually had this exact... I want to say we've had this exact game before. Previously, the bishop didn't develop here because it wasn't a pin. So maybe now will make slightly more sense. Okay, and... well, D5 looks reasonable, right? We have a rook aimed at the queen, so I don't mind that at all. Okay, queen moves. Let's keep things open here. Right, in general, you're gonna see me play D5, right? I gotta fight for the center a little bit. Whoa, knight here. What's going on here? All right, well, let's start with what I assume is the obvious move, taking. Our queen's hit, so let's go into the center. And yeah, I'm not seeing the danger here. He takes. I mean, okay, we'll take a little fork right there. Takes. We can take back. Obviously, couldn't have done that without knowledge that the knight was there. We hadn't snorked up due to all these forcing moves, but we did have things covered with our knight. Rook over. Probably just keep developing here. You know, the bishop can develop with a tempo. We can kick the knight out. Seems like there's a bunch of good things to do. Oh, knight takes now. This guy's a genius. Well played, sir. Well played. A6 kicking the knight out. I definitely really don't like the idea of the knight staying there. Knight takes c7. We take. He takes. I think we're back to basics here. Bishop needs to move. Hit the rook. Once again covering. And just because I seem to be covering these back rank mates doesn't mean I will forget about playing this, right? it's still a move we need to play. Can't get around that. Moves the rook over. I think it's a great time to go with this. Pieces into the middle. Also king. Let's not forget about that. I'm going to bring the king to the center of the board. A trade. And a king into the middle. Okay. Let's not forget about the king. He's going to hang a bishop and, well, that's the game right there. Alrighty. Let's continue to bring our king into the middle. H3. I would say another trade should always be in the cards. Move into the middle. Same with this one. Hits the rook, guards the pawn, straight into the middle of the board. Basically never gonna have a problem with that. Just trying to take our opponent's pawns, and once we take some pawns, as soon as we get a pass pawn, I'm just gonna push it. That's the idea. Okay, he's attacking our pawn, but we can take his pawns as well. And we have a pass pawn, so let's let's push it. Okay, is he gonna check me forever here? Let's find out. Okay, he's going there. He's not stopping my pawn. I mean, again, you have to look at the bigger picture. This knight is 100% irrelevant. It's all about pushing the pawn. So he's going to stop me, but I don't think this should be the tricky part of the game. This is the part where the habits guides you home like effortlessly every time. I'm just pushing. I got another one. This is not the part of the game that should throw you off. Okay, a little bit of a runaway pawn there. So, as usual with those things, got to get the rook back. But I mean, stuff like this should not be the most difficult. Okay, let's see here. Throw check in there. I'm going to take that. The rook behind the pawn there. Take this pawn. I'm just getting rid of like every single pawn. And probably a lot of ways to complete a checkmate here. But once again, if I have lots of material, I mean, I know how to deliver a checkmate with a queen. So once again, I'll get rid of the final final obstacle. As long as what you have left, you know how to checkmate with, zero issues. It would have been a very close endgame, but I mean, you saw the guy played his king up to b2 and just hung his bishop, and then it wasn't very competitive after that. Damn. Unfortunate time to lose connection. He had every chance to win here, but ultimately, yeah, that internet connection. Okay. There we go. Thanks, bud. What are you guys talking about, report? Why would you report this guy? If this guy played on, we might not have won the game, right? You agree that it's not a 100% chance we're going to win this. It could never be. 99.99999. So by him doing this, he's putting it at 100%. And you want to report this guy? I want more of these guys on the server. These are the guys that guarantee my elo. I need more of them. I can disconnect. It doesn't matter if I disconnect. I'll still win. So I need more of this guy. For wasting your precious time. Now there's a real reason. Precious, precious time. Yeah, I think we need more of these people on chess.com. Not less. Thank you, Hollow Destiny, for the 52 months. $17.08. At least we didn't dip below. All right. Match in the center. Knight out. And again, because we're not bringing the two knights out anymore, we don't really want to block this pawn. Instead, we start with the bishop. We don't need to play that move. It's not necessary. That square is usually for the pawn. Like, for example, now. Okay. Again, we're not really taking these. The guy's moving his knight. Got to take that one in the center. Okay, we got our knight here. We can snork up, and oh, well, we can snork up right now, that's for sure. All right. Opposite bishops. Yet again. Another important moment. Okay, let's start with the basics here. Rook into the middle. He's going to do the same. I know that we're all shocked by this. Doubling the rooks in the middle looks pretty smart. Are we ahead or behind? It's a great question. I think neither, personally. What do you think? Yeah, it's not clear. Not clear. Looks very, very even. Okay. Lots of trades coming up. Lots of trades coming up. Okay, bishop takes. Let's move our bishop. Can we make a threat? We can make a threat that he's going to defend. However, we could take here. I don't know how trustworthy that is. Whoa! We're making the same moves here. Trade, 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 trade. Into the center we go. Let's see if he's going to trade with us. All right. Is this an endgame that anyone should win? Of course not. Nobody should be winning this. Now, when you get an endgame like this, there's not a lot you can do. Right? Do I have anything to do here? No. See, he's probably slowly putting those pawns on the opposite color, right? You see? So we just can't attack them. Is that what he's doing? He's going nice and safe there. Well, the nice thing is this bishop defends that pawn. So it's not really important to me if the pieces are not nearby, right? If there's pieces not close to this pawn, like it's, you know, it's okay. All right, the guy's going here. It's obviously an interesting move. We'll take it. Okay, king here. What can we do? Anything? Make some trades. Nobody is supposed to win this endgame. It was literally 3 pawns against 3 pawns and 1 pawn on the other side of the board that you can defend for the rest of your life with your bishop. Am I concerned about this? As we've discussed, no. Because if the king gets all the way down here, I just defend it with this move. So you want to spend like 6 moves to get there? I defend it with 1 move? No problem. Right? That's completely fine with me. So let's kind of fix this bishop's placement a little bit. Ooh, okay. He's going to put the pawn there. Let's see what we can do. My bishop's covering this once again, so feels like a position we can be pretty comfortable with. And if we went back and forth, that would be the end of the game, right? It'd just be a draw. Now, our opponent's demonstrating some pretty smart technique. Just staying in this position and not really doing anything, right? So, we can pre-move, we can try to win. Are we going to succeed? Probably not. That's opposite bishops for you. Guys. Not again. Oh, he doesn't even take our queen. Oh my goodness. How can we make sure that we do it with all pre-moves? Like this. Solid. Solid. Now he doesn't have a bishop. Oh, okay. Now we're going this way. Ah, there we go. That's what I like to see. Nice. Yeah, all with pre-moves. Just as we drew it up. What's important here? The important thing is that you can't lose. You can't lose. Do you know why you can't lose? Because if you ever want to, just pre-move. Like, pre-move the exact same move. Even if you got 16 seconds. You know how long that is? That's a lot of moves. Right? Like 162 moves. It's a lot. I'm not saying that you're going to win every single time here. I'm not. But even if you don't win, you're going to draw. And if you don't draw, you're probably going to win. Those are good odds. One of those two options in a position like this, I'll take it. Now, our opponent didn't play poorly, but clearly didn't understand the situation maybe as well as we did. It wasn't a big difference. In fact, put all the pawns on light squares, nice and safe. But why was the king over here? The king should just be here. And then I think you guys can see there is zero chance, zero anything. There's no way that you lose that game. There's no way. As white, you have your king there. Everything's protected, protected, protected. It's the easiest game of your life. So, white decided to separate the king from the pawns. We were going to attack white's pawns. What was white's king doing? Going to attack our pawn, which is defended. That doesn't make a lot of sense. We did win this game, but I would have been perfectly happy drawing it. I wasn't expecting to win it. I would have been perfectly happy drawing. Now, the end of the game doesn't matter. I'm not saying that everyone's going to be able to replicate the end. But this much? Sure. And then you're in opposite bishop position. All we did was play f6 so that the bishop couldn't attack us. And now that bishop's useless. Now, ours might be as well. But we have one last try, which is to use our king. If our opponent did this, then we would have nothing. We would just make a draw. But as you can see, even at 1700, my opponent's capable of losing this position. When you think about it, losing this position is quite special, right? Opponent has 3 minutes, 45 seconds, 43, and is losing this position at 1700. This is a different level. Do not ever let this be you. More than a minute extra. Literally everything's protected. King can go here and everything's guarded. Like, you do nothing. You make the draw, but it's a good reminder. Even at 1700, they don't have it figured out yet. So there's no reason that you should just be assuming that the game is just going to be 100% a draw. No, play it out. I don't trust them. Pawn in the middle. Oh, and we have the Scandinavian. We're going to attack the queen. Okay, we have a check to the king. Now, the knight move blocks our bishop, and the queen move is fine, but the bishop seems to make the most sense. Okay, goes over here. Now he's attacking this. Okay. A little annoying. I see you. I'd like to castle, but I can't move my knight without... I see you there. I see you. Okay. Well, this is a bit annoying. I have to play bishop here. Like, what's going on now? And then he gets the pawn in the center. Is this guy genius here? What kind of opening is this? I don't know what I'm looking at anymore. All right. Well, I don't trust them. Let's get a pawn in the center. No way I can sit here and have this work. No way. Get a pawn in the center immediately. Don't trust the guy. Here, I'm taking it. We don't care about that, surely. Now, I can't bring my knight there, so this is a little embarrassing. I guess I'm going here. Hitting our pawn. Let's defend. Moving that bishop towards the center. Can't be a mistake. Bishop out. Let's castle. All that good stuff. Okay. This is a bit of a concern. We do have to move out of the way and maybe queen into the middle like that. This is a pretty frustrating opening. I don't know how the hell he got this bishop on this square. Like, nothing makes sense. I don't know how he did any of this. Okay. I guess we'll do this. We castle. We only have a moment to really respond to that now. He's pinning me again. Like, dude. It's not an enjoyable position. Get out of here. Can I have some peace and quiet? All right. H3 has to be a good move. You know, the habits wouldn't let me down here. They've never failed me. All right. Takes. Well, we can't take with a knight. So I guess we're capturing with the rook. Okay, well now he's threatening that. Brutal. Try to defend this to avoid taking with the pawn. With my hawk-like vision here, I'm able to see a nice fork right in the center of the board. Yeah, that hawk-like vision really comes in handy. You should make sure to get one of those. F5. Well, doesn't seem to prevent me from taking this free knight, so I will. Knight into the middle. Another very good move from him. There's not much about my position that feels good here except the fact that I'm up a piece, but truly, this doesn't feel like a good position yet. I still feel a little disorganized. My rook's not developed. Like I'm not enjoying myself just yet. Like I can't move my queen over to get my rook over because of the bishop. So, I mean, basically I want to play these two moves. Queen e1, rook d1. It's like the most uncomfortable spot that we've been in. Okay. Some semblance of controlling the center here. Let's go. Knight d6. So I see a couple threats here, and I only see one way to defend them. So I suppose that narrows down my move pretty easily. Okay, knight here. Well, let's go in the center. Okay. Well, if not the center. Wow, can't draw the guy. Not with an extra piece. We need to go here. But I don't like my rook here. And now there's a red dot. Okay, let's get back out of there. This is a very uncomfortable game. I would honestly rather give him the piece back and have a normal game with my pieces in the middle, nothing to worry about. That's what I would like. My God, another threat. It feels like I've been here before. What the? Dude, give me a goddamn second here. I'll take it. Mm-hmm. Yep. No. As soon as I heard that low time sound, yep. Get me out of there. We'll take those. Low time. I'm not a hero. I'm not trying to be. Get me out. Thank you very much. Now, I'm not particularly proud of this game. I thought that our opponent honestly played well enough to throw us way off. What is this opening? Oh my god, this was so confusing. My knight, my bishop, my king was in a red dot, my queen was, like, I couldn't bring my rooks to the middle. Nothing about this game made me happy, so we have to credit Black for playing a way that made it very difficult to react to. So, we stuck to the habits. I mean, we did our best, but honestly, felt like, apart from that one tactic, he kind of outplayed us a little bit. And I'm honestly not that upset with the draw, because I feel like I barely survived the game. I don't know what you're saying, Sornik. Ritaby, we've already looked at that one, but we like the C3 move. All right. Well, we'll keep it moving here. We didn't lose the game, which is nice, but I'm not going to lie. I'm going to remember that one. That was annoying.